2, 1.
Welcome to Made for More Living.
One small step for man.
With Johnny Jennings.
Kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
The fastest and most exciting hour of news, events, and real estate in Northern California.
And this is a fact that was proved.
Online at madeformorerealty.com.
Does everybody know what time it is?
Get ready. Here we go.
So on today's show, we have an incredible guest. This guy is one of the top 100 agents in the Tri-County area. And what's even more incredible is he doesn't spend any money running ads. Whereas, you know, some agents like myself, we live off that ad spend. He
spends no money on advertising.
He spends zero money on advertising. So today with us is Aaron Ralls with Ralls Realty Group. Welcome on the show.
What up?
Do you spend other people's money on advertising? Is that what it is?
Well, I do advertising. I just don't buy leads.
Oh, you don't buy leads?
Yeah, no lead spend. But yeah, I'm right now I'm on the billboard in Highway 50 at the Palladio. So
okay,
I'll spend money on advertising and
But you won't buy like Zillow leads.
Yeah, I don't buy Zillow leads.
Me
I don't
neither.
do anything like that.
Do a lot of realtors do that? Real estate teams, do they buy leads?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People that have high numbers typically are purchasing leads. And
So why don't you do it? Why are you against buying leads?
I'm not necessarily against it. I've just got my business to a point where it's all word of mouth, referral based mainly. So I don't have to do that. I do open houses, and it's a little more organic. If I were to move to Tennessee tomorrow, I would buy leads, to get it going.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would last more than 6 months or a year.
And then you'd have the organic, the referrals, the open house leads feeding you.
Yep, that would be the goal. I just did an open house this last Saturday, 2-hour open house, 2 clients.
Not bad.
So it's pretty good.
Can I ask you about that real quick? So how do you successfully hold an open house? Because I bet you, Johnny, you know many
He's
folks.
the king of open houses.
Oh, really?
Funny you should ask, Matt.
Funny you should ask.
Well, you have a lot of folks who hold open houses, and I remember Brent Gove talks about that all the time.
Yep.
He did open houses 5 times a day, and but I bet you there's a lot of people who do open houses and they don't generate anything from them. It's a waste of time. So how do you successfully hold an open house where you're actually generating leads?
Well, I think number one, a lot of real estate agents go in there with the wrong intent, and I'm a big believer in karma and doing the right thing. So when I go into a house to do an open house, it would be if Johnny hired me to sell his home and I'm doing an open house Saturday and Sunday, my main goal is to sell Johnny's house. I'm making, let's say, 15, 20 grand to sell his house. I'm not going in there to get clients. I'm going in there to sell his house. So number one, I lead with the proper intent, which is, to do the job that I was paid for.
That's whether it's his listing or not, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, even if I'm doing one of my partners or, coworkers, filling in for a friend, whatever, that is the main goal, is to sell the home that I'm there. The job that I'm there to do, and I take that serious. And I think that's a big problem in real estate in general right now, is the lack of that sort of attention and discipline to just do the right thing and earn your money the right way. And then meeting clients and connecting with them, everything I do is just real natural, organic. Like I would talk if I met you at a bar and we're hanging out or having a cigar or whatever.
Right.
I'm not there being salesy. I'm not there being desperate. I'm just leading with value and helping as much as I can.
That's good. I think that's key. Adding value, bringing someone value.
Yeah. And the other thing missing in real estate is, I believe, is a lot of agents get in there, they watch all these shows that are on TV, and they're not studying, they're not learning the game, they're not really trying to get better. I study every day. I haven't missed. I don't miss. For the last 9 years that I've been in real estate, I still study 1 to 3 hours every day, whether it's in my car, listening to podcasts, YouTube, reading books. I'm constantly consuming content to make me an expert in my field. So that's another missing part. And when I do the open houses, my open houses are successful. I always bring music in, so there's always an upbeat vibe. I'm always I don't ask people to sign in. It's nothing formal. It's just very low key, low stress, cool.
So relaxing type of music, instrumental?
No.
Okay, well, what's the vibe
we're-
that you want to set in an open house? What kind of selection are you choosing on your Spotify or whatever?
Number one, nothing involving curse words. So the other day,
No gangster rap, no Snoop Dogg?
Yeah, I did I was listening to my DJ playlist on Spotify, and all of a sudden I'll tell you guys off air, the most atrocious song came on, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I had clients in the house and I'm pulling out my phone while we're talking, hitting skip. So now a good radio station that I kind of keep it on and it doesn't offend anybody and everybody tends to like it is either Fleetwood Mac radio or like Debbie Deb radio, kind of the
Debbie
80s.
Deb.
Kind of the 80s,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm into lowriders and stuff, so I listen to stuff that I like to listen to also,
Sure.
but it has a good upbeat vibe. In open houses, you don't want to do it to where it's so awkwardly quiet. You can hear everyone talking in the house.
Yeah.
You want to give them privacy. So,
Do you put out cookies or treats or anything like that?
no, I used to though. We used to go pretty big. I used to buy my buddy owns Beach Hut Deli, so I would buy the Beach Hut Deli party platters, and he'd give me a great price on it. But man, that adds up when you're doing multiple open houses a week, and then any properties with pools, I always had buckets of beer on ice out there by the pool.
Wow.
You don't do that anymore, though.
Not the food and everything, no. Because a lot of times I'm just popping and I'll do like 2 hours here, hour break in between to get to the next house. I'll do another 2-hour house somewhere else. And I don't know. We kind of stopped that with COVID. Everybody's weird about that,
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, whatever. I'll save $150 a week.
There you go.
Yeah.
But so that's another thing that you do differently is you're doing 2 open houses a day versus like one long open house.
Yeah, I never do more than 2 hours. Like Saturday's open house, prime example, it was 11 to 1. I think that's the best time. I've done them all different times.
Why only 2 hours? Why restrict it to just 2 hours?
Because when you're showing properties, like if you wanted to go see properties and we set up how many we were going to look at for that day, and I go, oh, Johnny's doing an open house that goes till 5. He will be the last stop on our tour.
Yeah.
Because I know he's there, right? You probably have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Whereas 11 to 1, like, shoot, they're only there 11 to 1. It creates a sense of urgency, and you'll get those 10, 12 groups in the 2 hours instead of 10, 12 groups over 4 hours. And then I just go do the same thing at the next house, and it's definitely the best formula, and I've done it
smart.
all different ways.
And you recently presented at Brent's team meeting about your open house strategy, and something that stood out to me was how it also creates the impression of you being everywhere. So some people will see you at the 11 to 1, and then you'll be off from 2 to 3 setting up your signs, moving, and then was it 3 to 5? Is that the second?
11 to 1, 2 to 4. Yeah. Which to me also feels like I still have my whole evening. I still have my morning. I get to go to the gym. I do whatever I got to do at the house. So it's easy.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't dread it. Oh, I got to go sit here for 4 hours. Hope somebody comes in. It's only a couple hours,
Do
You
do
talked
any-
about signage. What kind of signage is effective for you?
I have real large open house signs and everything's branded. My logo, it's on the back of this sweatshirt, and you can see it when we're done. But it's basically says Ralls Realty Group with the American flag throughout the lettering. That's similar to the billboard that I have on Highway 50. So the branding is, different than what else is out there. I don't have house and key logos in my brand. It's the American flag.
Like that.
Yeah.
Big fan of the flag. So you're putting.
And by the way, people that aren't a big fan of the flag, I'm fine not working with them.
There you go.
You know what? He'd be an interesting person to ask that question.
Yeah. So Matt's
Maybe we
wanting
can do
to
that in
know-
the next segment.
You want to do that in the next segment? Okay. So, but aside from the signs, are you doing any, like some people talk about 5-5-10 where you knock the neighbors? Do you do any door knocking before the opens? Or?
I personally don't door knock because I'm covered in tattoos head to toe, literally hands, knuckles for everybody that can't see that. I don't know. I just feel like it's probably not a lot of people going to open the door. It'd be they're yelling through the door. What do you want? Oh, I'm doing an open house. Like, yeah, right.
Yeah, sure.
Sure you are, buddy.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I don't door knock, but whenever the neighbors are out, I always say what's up, super friendly, and go talk to everybody if I see them out.
Yeah, you're a naturally charismatic individual. People just want to talk to you.
Well, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but that's not when you got started. That's not how you started, right? Like you were.
No. Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up again. Yeah, when I first got started, I came from a career in law enforcement, and then got out of that and opened a barbershop. So when I was at the barbershop, I was tattooed pretty heavy in law enforcement, and then I did my hands and my knuckles, and pretty much covered my whole body's covered in tattoos. And when I first started doing open houses and whatnot, I would be wearing slacks, dress shirt, dress shoes, tie, hands in my pocket, so people couldn't tell. And it just wasn't natural for me and didn't feel right. And I did it for months and months and months in that same manner. And once I switched it up and just started kind of dressing and acting the way I am, business literally quadrupled probably.
Wow.
To the point of right now, I'm averaging a closing a week.
That's incredible. Closing a week, primarily from open houses. Is that and your referral base?
Referrals, yeah.
But why would you say that change has been more effective? What's the root reasoning for that?
Probably because I am a lot more comfortable, and I think people vibe with that. I think if you go to an open house, I started thinking about it. My clients, when people are looking at open houses, they've got their Starbucks in their hand. They're wearing flip-flops and shorts, and they don't want the guy that's all dressed up in a shirt and tie. I think that era is kind of gone too, for the most part. So, I'll wear a polo shirt or, a button-up short sleeve, but I'm just myself now. I don't know. I feel like people can relate to that a little more.
And this is important to realize too. Like Aaron's not just in a regular home. Like, what home were you in this last weekend where you picked up the 2 clients? What's the price point?
That one we had just dropped. That one's $792. But multi-million-dollar homes. I got a 6.9 coming up.
Oh wow, that's a beast.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Loomis area.
Loomis. Okay, Go figure.
I'll tell you about it off air.
Loomis, gotta love it. Hey, well, when we come back, that's something. Well, actually, let's talk about it now. So you're at your open houses. You put some signs up. You're dressed casual. You have the music playing. It's more, hey, just go ahead and explore the house. Here's some information about the house that maybe you're not aware of. But
yeah, and that's like a 30-second. That's it. I'm not trying to sell them on everything. But before they leave, the main thing, 99% of all real estate agents, the mistake they make is they don't ask for the business and they don't bring any value or illustrate any knowledge. So I always try to bring value and illustrate my knowledge before those people leave, because I'm literally an expert in my field now. So,
and I like how you do that, like how you give them the business card. Can you walk us through that?
At the end. So I'll say, Johnny, what'd you think of the house? The backyard looked bigger in the photos. Well, just so you know, I'm part of the biggest team in the area. We have over 100 off-market properties almost at all times. I'll pull out my phone and physically show them our list, right?
Yep.
And I say everything in white is off market, green is active, orange is pending, and we're selling one of these every other week. Never hits the market. If you want me to stay in contact with you, I'm not going to bug you, I'm not going to spam you, but text me your info. I said I have people that run into me at various open houses weeks go by, and then eventually they do it, and then we sell them a home. And if you want to get in those properties, if you want to know about them before they hit the market, give me a call. My wife's also a full-time real estate agent. I would love the opportunity to earn your business, and I'm asking for the business.
Exactly.
And I even say I'm on Instagram at Aaron Ralls Realtor. You can follow us there, see what we're doing.
Do you require people, because some seem very passionate about this in the real estate industry, that they make guests
check in,
sign in with their email, and some people,
no.
like I've been to open houses and I'm like, I'm not signing it up or anything, and some say, well, then you can't come look at the house unless you sign in.
Nobody likes that. I don't do it. I'm amazed that real estate agents still think that's the way to do business. And the people that tend to do that, I'll tell you what, they're not closing one a week. It's got to be organic and smooth and natural. Like, nobody wants to sign anything. And half the time, if they do, they're giving you a fake email or phone numbers off by one digit,
Yep.
So what's the point?
Right.
It's just silly. It's way better to seem, I look at the real estate game like kind of like dating. The less desperate you seem, the more you're able to attract the woman that you want,
Yep.
Nobody wants to be that guy.
I took a page out of your book recently, had this sign call on one of our listings, and so I run down there, and I never do this. It's always Valerie or somebody else. I'm not the most smooth guy when speaking with clients, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna take a page out of Aaron's book, and so I show them the house. Oh, by the way, don't forget this. This is a cool little feature that you probably didn't realize. So adding some value. And I'm like, hey, and they're like, do you have to sign anything? Like, we want to make an offer. Like, we want to work with you. Do you have to sign anything? It's like, and I'm like, no, man.
Boom, let's go.
No. You guys don't have to sign anything. We want to earn your business at the end of the day. And I know that may be against the BRBC rules, but I'm not.
On your own listing, you're good. The way that's written.
On my own listing. Yeah. And then, but here's the thing. We sell a house on average every 3 days, right? I'm looking for people who are looking for me. We have a list of off-market homes, same exact list that you're talking about.
Yeah, we all work together.
Mm-hmm. And they just loved the authenticity. They loved the no sales, the no pressure tactic, but also all this value that I could add that this other realtor wasn't providing that they had been working with.
Yeah.
So when we come back, though, we got what is it? A long question? Not a long question.
No, just a very controversial
question.
topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't shy away from that.
That's
do
right.
it.
That's why we want to ask you it. Allow me to share with you just a few of the 5-star Google reviews that you can find online for Johnny Jennings and his incredible team at Made for More Realty. This is from Renee. She said, I worked with Johnny Jennings for the sale of my home. He was very kind, positive, and encouraging. He was not pushy at all. He was patient. My plans to sell my home changed, and Johnny was very supportive and canceled our contract, no problem at all. When I do sell my home, I will definitely call Johnny to help me. This is a review from Chris. He says, they were wonderful with us. They are very professional and continue to stay in contact with us all throughout the whole process of selling our home. They were also very patient with us because of a few setbacks. They were unbelievable because they had the house sold within a week. I would recommend them to anyone who needs a great real estate company. Thanks for everything, Chris. And this is from Jamie. I heard about Johnny Jennings and Valerie Jennings, Made for More Realty, on the radio and heard nothing but positive reviews. My family gave them an opportunity to sell a rental property in Manteca, and the service and advice they provided was on point and did not disappoint. The process from start to finish was seamless and very effective thanks to their knowledge of their real estate market. Their commitment and communication skills and responsiveness to questions and concerns were effective and without delay. I would highly recommend them without hesitation. I will definitely use them for future real estate transactions. Again, that was from Jamie. Just a few of the 5-star Google reviews that you're going to find online with Johnny Jennings and Made for More Realty. Don't take my word for it. Go check it out for yourself. And if the time comes for you to sell your home or purchase a home, you know who our audience recommends. There's only one in our area, and that's Johnny Jennings and his team at Made for More Realty. Maybe why they've been voted #1 team in Roseville for 3 straight years in a row. So if you're curious, hey, how can I sell my home the fastest and for the most money? It's easy. Just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Hey, find out how you can get at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. No costly home repairs or staging or organizing or open houses. At least 3 cash offers on your home with Johnny Jennings and Made for More Realty.
This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
All right, so we are back with Aaron Ralls with Ralls Realty Group. And let's just get into this controversial question.
You mentioned how you have the American flag on your signage, and if people don't support the American flag, you don't want to work with them anyways, right?
Got that right.
Okay, so what's your perspective on this? So I think it was in Idaho, there was a realtor who ran a campaign saying that if you were a Democrat or left-leaning liberal type of person, he wouldn't charge 0 fees to sell your home so you could move out of state. So my perspective is, do you think it's a wise idea to have strategies like that where you kind of take a political stance that might be beneficial to you? Because he had calls not just from Democrats, but a lot of Republicans or conservatives who said, hey, we like your perspective. We actually want to work with you because we align with how you see things politically.
So do you think it's beneficial to be that polarizing?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Really? Explain.
Yeah.
I attract my tribe, you know. A lot of my business comes from people that think like me, look like me. I like the blue-collar, hardworking dudes or the self-made multimillionaires and people that stand up for what they believe in, good, strong family values, you know, Christian values, and if any patriotic values, and if people don't like it, I'd prefer not to work with them anyways. I don't need the money that bad. So I think when you take a stand like that, you'll attract the people that think like you. And
it seems like
build
that's what
more
you're doing.
loyalty that way.
Yeah.
More loyalty.
That group, yeah.
I can see that.
One way or the other. I mean, whatever side you think, if you're going to do that, you know, if you think more along those lines, you'll attract those people.
Some would say, and I think Johnny has somewhat of a point, is that it's a risk, though, because you are alienating some potential clients.
Could be, but I think the upside will be much greater.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, too, when I meet people open houses, I'm not asking those type of questions. I'm, at the end of the day,
who'd you vote for?
We're all human, and I want to,
Right.
help and really love on and treat people great. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, if I've had ideas for that I could turn my billboard, or at least one of my slides. I'm on the digital billboard. I've had ideas of things I could do up there that would create a buzz to where I'd be on the TV.
Yeah.
And my wife was mortified with my ideas. She's like, "You are not."
Gotta love it.
that.
That's how you know it's a good idea when the wife is mortified.
Right.
That's a good idea.
There you go.
What gets me though is sometimes I think people get caught up in current events, and it's like this is going to be in the waste paper basket tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm more like I would take a stand on principles rather than opinions.
Yeah. That's me too. Yeah.
And so that's probably I think we're in alignment there.
Yeah, totally.
But,
and it basically, in my opinion, I'm always blown away. It's like common sense stuff. It's not nothing tricky. It's
not. Yeah.
I appreciate the country that gave me everything that I've got. I've been to other countries. There's a reason everyone wants to come here.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why everybody tries to trash it so bad. It's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
Yeah.
But anyway, so as far as advice for agents goes, if somebody was starting out or somebody who's maybe looking to increase their business, what is something you would recommend they do?
Well, it doesn't have to be me, but I would strongly recommend looking at the EXP business model. I've looked at all of them, and I've been with EXP now, I think 6 years, 7 years. If something better came up, I'd leave tomorrow. Nothing can come close to what we have to offer anybody. And I've been offered some pretty hefty incentives to.
Can you share some of those incentives that you've turned down? You don't have to say who, but.
Yeah. I got offered. It won't make sense for me to explain it to the general crowd. I can tell you off air, but basically I would be. It would be a revenue share type model for everyone I brought over to this brokerage.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a big one, a good one. But other than that, we did the stats the other day just to give you an idea. Just my group within EXP, we did $311 million in closed sales within 6 months.
Wow.
Compared to like all of Keller Williams Folsom was $80 million for the year.
$80 million?
Yeah. So, and I've got those stats. I've got that on my phone. I'll show you afterwards. But we're hundreds of millions ahead of our biggest competitors. And we're talking our 6 month numbers compared to their 12-month numbers. So I don't think people realize that EXP's probably doing 50% of every transaction that crosses a desk in the Sacramento area.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
If you do
one side or the other, it's 50% EXP. Some title people have told me up to 70.
Really, depending on the location.
Yeah, so I believe if I was a new agent, I would find the right group, somewhat close to me to get involved within EXP because of how we work together. Like Johnny and I work together. We share our off-market list. We help each other. He's not in my downline per se. I'm not in his organization, but we help each other. And I think a lot of other brokerages, you're just an individual agent. So if you can find somewhere where you have kind of a tribe of support, you'll be a lot better off.
Agreed. That's the main reason why I joined EXP. So when Valerie and I, the brokerage we were at previously, it went out of business, right? And so we had to make a move. We weren't wanting to make a move. We weren't looking. We interviewed 6 different brokerages, and we ended up at EXP, not necessarily because of the comp plan. The comp plan was, attractive, but mainly who we were aligning with.
Yeah.
And that was the main differentiator for us. And since then, our business has grown by leaps and bounds.
Well, yeah, you guys are killing it.
Well, proximity is power, right?
Yep.
So I wouldn't have had the connection with Brent had I been somewhere else. I wouldn't have had the introduction to Tom if I'd been somewhere else. And so if you're not happy where you're at, I would first look inside, figure out what you can do differently, right? Because it's ultimately you're an independent contractor, you're in control. But also, if people are not helping lead you, guide you, if they're not modeling what it is you want, maybe you need to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, so. And a lot of new agents, you got to go into this knowing that you're your own boss. And
yep.
Your own boss when you're your own boss, you can be real cool to yourself. You can take the week off if you want, but it's one of those games where you got to really keep the pedal to the metal, or all of a sudden you won't have anything going.
Yep, I heard it said once, you're the best boss you've ever had and the worst employee you've ever had, all rolled up in one in real estate.
Yeah, so it takes discipline, and what's great is there is no ceiling to the amount of money you can make. I talked to a young gal yesterday that's getting her license. There is no ceiling to what we can make. I'll bet you and I could sit down after this for an hour and find a way to make $500,000 in the next 30 days if we really, thought about it. And, I think a lot of people, real estate agents, their goals are set too low. And then a lot of people get real hard on themselves because they don't succeed so fast. I did a meeting a couple years ago with all those Selling Sunsets, those type of shows.
Yeah.
And I had all those gals on there, and I had their photos up, and everyone on my team, all the girls especially, knew who they were.
Yep.
I didn't. My wife told me the thing, and I was looking them up on the MLS, and then I put the stats next to it. Like, she hasn't sold a house in a year. She has sold 1 in the last year. She has sold 2 in the last year. So don't get caught up in all the fake stuff you see on TV.
No. My favorite quote, believe none of what you see and none of what you hear and only half of what you see.
Yeah. So real estate's all smoke and mirrors. Honestly, a lot of times it disgusts me. The whole industry disgusts me. The egos, the way people try to big time each other, it's crazy to me. Whatever. I stay in my lane and just keep helping my people, and the referrals keep coming, and it's like, all right.
So as far as agents, make sure you're aligned with somebody that can help you win. But as far as clients go, actually, let's do this. You mentioned you had a cool Tom Dave story, talking about the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, when I was brand new, before I realized how important it was to self-educate and become an expert in this field, I went on a listing appointment. I believe it was in Loomis, and I was maybe a couple months in, and I don't even remember how they got my info, but I'm wearing my shirt, my tie. I'm nervous. I don't really know anything yet. No one's there to help me either. At my last the brokerage I was at, we had a competing broker who would go compete against us for listings. It was crazy.
Gosh.
Yeah, it was horrible. And this property, they were doing interviews every 30 minutes with agents, and I was out front, 10, 15 minutes early, and I see Tom Daves and someone else walk out together, and I thought, oh man, this is a done deal. Why am I even going in here?
I'm up against this legend.
Yeah, so I didn't get the listing.
I wonder who did. But now I think you'd stand a good chance.
Now I'd probably be all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now if I'm there, it's because one of their neighbors already told them about me, or their cousin.
It's not a cold referral.
It's pretty
cool. Not a lead.
Yeah, I went on a listing appointment not long ago in El Dorado Hills, and I said, how'd you guys get my number? They go, we had to actually look up your number, but we have 2 different friend groups, and when we were talking about selling, your name came up from both groups as being the guy to call.
Wow. How do you attribute that? Because, 9 years is a long period of time, but it's also a short period of time. Like, Tom Dave's been doing this over 40 years. You 9 now. How did you get in those 2 friend groups to where they're referring you out?
When early on in my career, I was casting a really big net. I was marketing Roseville, if I'd get a listing or go penning. I'm spending the money on Corfact and mailers and, Facebook ads. And once I tightened up my net now is Folsom El Dorado Hills. Number one, because I hate having to try. Like I have one in Lincoln right now. It took me an hour and 4 minutes to get there from my house. I'm thinking, my goodness, I could have went to Tahoe in this amount of time. I'm going on 65 and everything. So I hyper focus Folsom El Dorado Hills now.
Okay.
So now instead of spending a little bit everywhere, I got a good tight network there. Plus, I'm constantly open houses, signs, open houses. And then whenever I take a listing, I run ads on Instagram and Facebook for the property. So I'm just kind of everywhere.
Got it. So you're the Hulk in the puddle rather than just a splash in the ocean.
Yep.
Got it.
So, and that tend to work a lot better. Plus, my wife is a full-time agent also, and she's a lot more put together than I am, so that helps. And a lot of times, if it's a divorce or things like that, it's good having a husband and wife team. We can help each other.
It does. They tend to gravitate towards one or the other.
Yeah. So that always helps, And plus, I don't want some guy feeling weird about meeting his wife at a house or whatever. Hey, my wife and I are both available. You guys let us know. Mm-hmm. And we do work hard. If someone calls, I've shown properties. I have 10 acres, and I'd be out chainsawing in the winter, covered in mud and sawdust. And if I get a call and someone wants to see a property, I'm like, I can be there in 20 minutes, but I am dirty. I've been working on my property. They're like, we don't care. People respect that,
Love it. So, Valerie, there's a story that I love telling about Valerie where this guy walked up to her. Brent had called her out at some team meeting or something. Valerie's my wife. She also does real estate, for those of you who don't know. And
I just closed one with her. A couple months ago.
Yeah.
Effortless. Yeah.
She's awesome. But Brent was talking about how successful she was to go up and talk to her. If you want to get some tips from Valerie on how she's successful, go ask her. She'll tell you exactly what she's doing. And so this gentleman walked up to Valerie and goes, after the meeting, and goes, Valerie, exactly what is it you're doing? Like, how can I succeed? I want to attain the same success you have. And she said, I just don't tell clients no. Like if they want to see a house, I'm going to show them the house. If they want to, I just don't turn down opportunities.
Yep.
And he's like, well, what if it's like during this time or this time? And she's like, then I'll figure it out. I'm going to meet the client. I don't turn down opportunities. And you can just see this guy I was watching from a distance. You can just see he kind of became crestfallen. Like the silver bullet wasn't an easy path. It was the path he was unwilling to take.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
last year we were camping at Sly Park and I got a call similar. And my clients were serious at the time. I'm like, I'll be right back. Sly Park to El Dorado Hills area is 35 minutes. I'll be back. Went down, did it. 23 grand.
Yep. But it sounds easy. So for people listening to the show, especially clients, they think, oh man, all those realtors, they just show a house, they cash a big check, and that's it. Can you explain a little bit about the reality behind the situation? Because
here's the reality behind the situation is, as a real estate agent, if you are doing business, you are going to get kicked in the nuts once a week.
Yep.
Period. I mean, it's sucks a lot of times, and you're having to talk people off the ledge. You're having to, be a therapist on top of everything else. Plus, you got to know the rules and the laws, and there's a lot to it. That's why most people fail.
Over 90% in 5 years.
Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah.
If it was easy as hey, you know what? Everybody hit pause. I'll be back in an hour, and then you're cashing a $23,000 check. If it was that easy, everybody'd be doing it.
Yeah.
90% of people would not be dropping out after 5 short years.
And I think the real estate, like I said earlier, it disgusts me so much. Is so many people. They see the lifestyle. They see, the G-Wagons and I'm in these different groups. I actually started leaving them because I'm a new agent. What kind of car should I get? I'm like, what kind of car? Get a car that runs. Get a car that will get you to a property. Who cares,
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, the mindset behind it. So I just stay in my lane and keep building a big business.
There you go.
And I'm trying to actively absorb business now from people that are retiring.
That's a growing model.
With a marketing, cross-promotion marketing plan and stuff. So
that's 100% a growing model. So that's something we're doing as well.
Smart.
Because there's all these people whose businesses have wound down or are winding down. And it's like, who's going to help their clients?
Right.
They might have grandkids, kids, people that need property.
They put in all that work. Hey, let me take it over. Referral fees for the rest of your life. Hopefully I can refer you $100,000 a year.
Yeah. I win, you win, the clients win.
Yeah. Instead of just leaving them.
Instead of them just being orphaned clients.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So real quick, just so we get some info in here for buyers and sellers, what are you seeing in the marketplace? Let's speak to sellers first.
You better price aggressive.
Yeah.
Price my plan, and any clients that listen to me, it works 100% of the time. Price it a little low, run the price up.
Yep.
When you start off high and you're doing those price drops, like trying to catch a falling knife, you're not doing yourself any favors. You got to price real aggressive. It is a buyer's market right now for sure.
100%. And people who I always say, well, we can always come down on price, or we can always negotiate if we start high. Well, who are you going to negotiate with if nobody's submitting offers?
I just had to have this talk with my clients. Nobody's coming in. We're not getting showings. The writing's on the wall. No offers that came. I mean, it's been 60 days at this point.
Yeah.
And finally, they're listening. We did 2, and sure enough, skyrocketed showings.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so price it right as info for sellers, and then for buyers, what would you tell them?
I would say with buyers, work with agents that understand how to get creative and lenders that know how to get creative as far as rate buy downs, credits for closing costs, things like that, because I see people lose a lot of deals when I'm the listing agent and they're submitting offers where their client's wanting a lower price even though their client's an FHA and can barely put down the 3.5%, whereas they could have offered $20,000 more and asked for a decent credit that would have helped their client even more. But if I'm in a multiple offer situation or, whatever, the other ones are cleaner, it's not my job to coach all my competitors on how to get an offer accepted. But
exactly.
Who you work with really matters.
It does. Yeah. People don't understand that. Like if you go with like some generic person at Rocket Mortgage or Chase.
Yeah, retail.
Like it's like, you're going to have to come in higher. If you're a buyer, your purchase price is going to have to be higher than somebody who's coming in with a lender that I know and trust already in the marketplace. Like you work with a great one. Who's your lender?
My guy Albert Chavez with New Vision Lending. All of my deals, everyone that he can do it, he buys the rate down for the first year out of his commission. And literally out of his pocket, he buys the rate down for the first year 1%. So, I mean, that's a game changer for all these buyers. Save them $400 or $500 a month usually,
Yeah, that's
for a
thousands.
whole year. Yeah. And we have cigar meetups, as you know, a couple times a week where we talk business, and the other lender's like, why would you do that? So instead of making $8,000 on a loan, he'll make $2,000. But he knows you're going to call him in a year to refi when those rates do come down.
Absolutely.
Plus, he's losing $1 to make a friend, and that's always been my business model too. Like,
I like that. Lose
whatever it
$1,
takes.
make a friend.
Yeah.
That's strong. Real quick, you did mention cigars. I gave you that Endure cigar. Did you get a chance to smoke that?
No, not yet. I'm saving. No, I've got it, but
Okay.
I
I was just curious what you thought.
Yeah.
All right, you got to let me know.
I will, yeah.
What's your favorite stick right now?
Oh, I just took a picture of it. Yes, the Perdomo 10th year anniversary champagne. It's a lighter, mild. I should have brought you one. I'll get you one.
Those are good. Those I have. I've probably given away 60 or 70 of those, and every single person I've ever given one to has loved it.
Yeah, because it's not too strong. It's a good, mild, nice. Yeah,
it's a good
cool.
stick.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus, I know we're short on time. If you're a newer agent, I would also say it's very important to be out and about. I go to a gym and I work out. I'm always wearing my shirts. I say, what's up? I talk to people. My wife and I go to dinner. I'm sitting at the bar. I'm talking to the guy next to me. Like, I'm very social, and it's very deliberate in that, So
Be seen.
That helps a lot, yeah.
Love it. And so if somebody wants to reach out to you, they're thinking about making a brokerage change, thinking about buying or selling a house, what's the best way for them to do that?
My phone number is 916-813-0226. On Instagram, it's Aaron Ralls Realtor. And
DM.
slide up in those DMs.
Let's go. Thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah, thank you.
I know, it sounds too good to be true, but this is a fact. Johnny Jennings and his team at Made for More Realty are willing to give you not one, not two, but at least 3 cash offers on your home. Listen to this, in as-is condition. No costly home repairs, staging, open houses, just something super easy, fast, and simple. At least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. What do? Just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty and get more for your home.
This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings. Online at madeformorerealty.com.
Man, loved having Aaron Ralls on this show.
He's a good guy. Former law enforcement.
Yep.
What else did he say he did? He
owned
owns
a
a
barber
barbershop.
shop. Yep,
Yeah,
in
and he
Folsom.
has no hair. If you can't see that on the radio, he's completely bald.
Yeah, he
so
shaved
interesting
it.
to
He
have
shaved-
a barber who is completely bald. But I feel like that is common. A lot of barbers are bald.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you can't help it if the force thins on you.
There you go. That's right.
But I loved his story about open houses and how he does open houses, like 2 short open houses. And it reminded me, it's been a while since I've done an open house, but when Valerie and I were trying to get our business off the ground, we did 90 open houses in 90 days. And when we so like 7 days a week, 90 days straight, open houses. And these were like long. So sometimes we do 2, sometimes it would just be 1. But how it would work is I would go out and I'd put out the signs. And I was trained by Brent Gove. And so for those of you who don't know what Brent Gove teaches, is he's like, you don't put out 5 or 10 signs. You put out 50 signs, minimum 30. Ideally, you should be putting out 50 signs per open house.
That's a lot of work. I mean, how do you find the time to put out 50 signs? You got to drive and...
It's a lot of work. So Valerie and I would drive separate, right? I'd have all the signs in my car, and then I'd be putting them up, and then I'd be all sweating a mess, and then she'd be all pretty and clean, and then she would host the open house, and then as the open house is starting to wind down, I'd start pulling the signs, which is fine. I mean, nobody really likes that in their community, but some communities actually have laws or guidelines.
Yeah, ordinances that, hey, you cannot have signs at all, or they have to be a certain way.
And I didn't know this, and so I put up 50 open house signs in Serrano. And so for those of you who are unfamiliar, Serrano is a more upscale community in El Dorado Hills, and you're not allowed to put out any open house signs unless it's in the yard of the house you're holding open. I put out 50.
Wow.
And so they have private security in this community. And so the open house is done, or it's getting close to being done. So I start, pulling the open house signs. I get about, 10 or 15 out of the ground in my car. And then I bump into this security guy, and he's like pulling my signs out. And I'm like, why?
He was pulling your signs out.
He was pulling my signs out. I'm like, why is he pulling my signs? What's going on? Give those back to me. Those are mine, And he's like, dude, you're not supposed to do this.
So he was friendly about it.
He was tired. Because he was like in his it was a hot day. He was wearing like the dark security clothes. it was probably like close to 100 degrees outside of summertime. He was sweating, like he was just drenched in sweat, and his entire security car was just filled. Because he probably just threw one in there. He didn't know how many he was going to have to pull. And so it was just filled with these made for more open house signs, and he gave them all back to me. You know, he was nice about it, and so I followed the guidelines moving forward, but it just makes me chuckle when I hear people putting out open house signs, and that's that one security guard who helped me pull 30 open house signs out of the ground. So I guess,
but they work. I mean, especially if you put a lot out there, but if they're visible and they, you know, I would assume they work, right? The more you put out there.
If they work, they work. Honestly think more people are going to come for the house, not for the signs. You know, like if somebody's looking already online, if they're already interested in a community, they're going to look at what's...
So you've done 180 degrees on your theory on putting out 50 signs then. You say you don't care about the signs. It's more of the people that see it online.
Yep, that's where I tend to
Really?
follow. Yeah. I think if you're going to do some signs, like how Aaron was talking about, he does like maybe 10, and they're branded to him. That's more those are little billboards. But as far as taking like 90 minutes, an hour, and putting out 50 signs, I think it's a bit excessive.
Gosh.
So, I mean,
you don't think it works? You don't think people see the open house signs? They're driving by and they want to come look, and then you generate a lead or a connection?
So if you're going to, where I didn't see the success is, Valerie and I were doing open houses. We could be in El Dorado Hills one day, Lincoln the next, Roseville the next, like all over the place. Aaron he's the Hulk in the puddle. He's only doing Folsom, El Dorado Hills.
Right.
So if every weekend you're seeing his signs, I think there is some brand credibility that builds up if you do it that way. But that's not how we were operating. And honestly, though, at the end of the day, people are gonna. Let me turn this around a little bit. If somebody is out looking for a home to buy, are they aimlessly driving around looking for open house signs?
No.
Well, they're probably on their phone looking at price, location, bed, bath count. Oh, and this one's open. Let's go see it. Or, hey, these are the houses that are available this weekend. Let's go see those.
But what about folks who maybe down the road are thinking about selling their house or purchasing a house? You know, maybe they're not immediately right now looking to sell or buy, but down the road, it's a connection. It's a relationship.
It really is, but that's why you have to be consistent. Because just because I did an open house and put signs in their yard one day, in their neighborhood one day, and then they don't see me for another 90 days, 120 days, they've totally forgotten who I am. They forgot that I even did it the first time.
Oh, really?
Right? And so that's why if you're going to do it, you got to do it consistently.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
On the home front, I had a little exciting piece of news. Just want to get this in the radio archives. Jack, my 3-year-old, broke his first board yesterday
on purpose
in Taekwondo. Yeah, super. I mean, it's just so cool. Like, I don't know. I only had dogs. Valerie and I were married for 10 years without any kids. We had a dog, and then all of a sudden we have a kid, and now this kid starts like talking and walking and doing things, and now he's breaking boards.
Well, at 3 years old.
Yeah.
What were you doing at 3 years old?
I don't know.
Pooping diapers. Is he still in diapers? No, he's not in diapers anymore, right? At 3? Does he wear them overnight?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids are past that. They took martial arts during the spring. They're on a break during the summer, but they loved it. And yeah, breaking those boards, huge. At the place we go to, you get to break a board on your birthday and has your name and everything.
Oh, that's fun.
And you videotape it, and they love it. It's empowering. You think, oh my gosh. I mean, obviously you and I understand it's not like a real piece of pine here. We're talking about it's a thin piece of like some kind of fabricated
it's a
particle
cool
board.
Confidence booster.
Oh, absolutely. It's cool when you're in there because we've all watched the movies, Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris breaking boards, and for you to go out there in front of, because they do it in front of the whole class, in front of all the parents. And it's a proud moment when your kid just goes boom. And you feel good as a dad, as a parent, because your kid feels good.
Yep.
You know?
See that little personality, that confidence start to develop.
Yeah.
Somebody told me once, Johnny, for the first 8 years of his life, you just got to build confidence, build confidence.
Absolutely.
You know? And then when he gets in high school, then you got to knock him down a peg or two.
Right? Correct.
You know, but give him a dose of reality. But for those first few formative years, just build that confidence.
Yeah.
So it's fun just to see that that's starting to happen.
That's so cool. I wish they have an opportunity for the parents to break a board too. Like,
Ooh, that
hey,
would be fun.
We're paying for this.
Yeah, come on.
You know, we never got to break a board when we were a kid.
I want to break a board.
I need a chance. Come on.
Let me put a little fear in my kid right now. He thinks he's invincible.
Right.
Let him know Dad can break a board too.
Break it with your head.
Yeah.
There you go. That's cool.
But what this has to do with real estate is like there's a lot of people out there who are nervous. They're nervous about the pricing. They're nervous about is it a good time? And honestly, I would say just break that board. Like you need to move with speed and certainty. This is probably the best time to buy a house that's come around in recent history. And the reason why is because you can get a great deal. People are going to pay to lower your interest rate. People are going to pay to help you with your down payment. But as soon as interest rates drop, all of a sudden you're just going to see more competition in the market. You're going to see prices stay strong or go up.
Yeah.
And you're going to miss that opportunity. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines, you've been saying, hey, if only prices come down, that's what I'm going to buy. Well, hey, now's that chance to break the board and jump into home ownership.
Yeah.
So
because you've got some leverage because it is officially a buyer's market.
It's definitely a buyer's market.
Definitely a buyer's market. So you've got some power, especially if you work with somebody like yourself and the Made for More team who understands how to negotiate and leverage some different opportunities.
Yep.
You can go in there and you can find ways and opportunities to get a great deal. You know?
Just help somebody get a $600,000 home, and it only costs them $3,000 out of pocket. Right? Some people think, oh my gosh.
Because that's a big hurdle for a lot of people. Well, I can't afford to buy a home because it's just too much up front. I don't have the money saved up to do that. And you're saying that you have ways and avenues that it can make it very minimal.
There's strategies, there's techniques right now that are available to you as a buyer that are not going to be available when it turns back into a seller's market. And so if you're wanting to make that move, now's the time to do it. We help somebody get into a $500,000 home, $500 out of pocket.
Wow.
Less than
that's
$1,000.
crazy.
Yeah. And there's so many options out there, but you're not going to know what's available to you until you pick up the phone and have a conversation.
Do you run into people who are still very new, maybe, newlyweds, or this is their first house and they've never purchased anything big like this before, and they kind of have some misunderstanding or confusion about how the commission works? Like they think they have to pay you guys up front, or they have to pay you out of pocket. Like, I don't have the money to hire a realtor.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or they heard about how the laws changed and now they have to pay for a realtor. And it's very simple. How we operate here at Made for More is if the seller doesn't pay our commission, we will work for you for free. Like, you do not, as a buyer, you will not be writing us a check. You will not be paying us a commission. So don't worry about that. We got that handled. That should be a non-concern for you. Not only that, but we can help make sure that your down payment, your closing costs, and maybe your interest rates are lower than what they might be with another realtor. So if you'd like to learn more about how that works, there's zero risk. We don't lock people into contracts. There's there's no downside to this. Just go to madeformorerealty.com. That's madeformorerealty.com. Just have a conversation with us.
So are you running into situations where the seller is not paying the buyer's commission?
So I was recently, I hosted a top producer panel, and on that panel, there was about 1,000 transactions represented since this new law went into effect. And out of those 1,000 transactions, there was one person that said that the buyer paid their commission. But the other 999 was paid for by the seller.
Right.
Yeah.
Because obviously no one wants to work. You're not going to find very, very, very few, if any, realtors that are going to go into that kind of work.
But there are still buyers out there, especially first-time home buyers or people who are very skeptical. And they're saying, well, hey, 1 in 1,000, so you're saying there's a chance. So that's why we remove it. There is 0% chance that you're going to pay us a commission. As a buyer's agent, you are not paying us. It's going to come out of the seller's side. And if the seller's not willing to pay for it, we will work for you for free.
Wow.
So there's 0% chance when you work with Made for More that as a buyer, you're going to have to come up with additional fees to pay for your real estate agent.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. And so if they just want information, because earlier in this segment, you talked about this list that you have.
Oh, the off-market list.
Yeah. So how can they get access to that? And talk a little bit about that in the last 30 seconds that we have.
Yeah, the off-market index. So we publish this every single week. and we show you there's typically about 100 off-market properties on there at any given week. We're selling a house off-market about one every 2 weeks. So the best deals really don't ever hit the market.
Wow.
The best deals are sold before they hit the market. If you want access to that list, just go to madeformorerealty.com and just let us know, hey, I want access to that off-market index, and we'll send you that list every single week. No strings attached.
Allow me to share with you just a few of the 5-star Google reviews that you can find online for Johnny Jennings and his incredible team at Made for More Realty. This is from Renee. She said, I worked with Johnny Jennings for the sale of my home. He was very kind, positive, and encouraging. He was not pushy at all. He was patient. My plans to sell my home changed, and Johnny was very supportive and canceled our contract, no problem at all. When I do sell my home, I will definitely call Johnny to help me. This is a review from Chris. He says, they were wonderful with us. They are very professional and continue to stay in contact with us all throughout the whole process of selling our home. They were also very patient with us because of a few setbacks. They were unbelievable because they had the house sold within a week. I would recommend them to anyone who needs a great real estate company. Thanks for everything, Chris. And this is from Jamie. I heard about Johnny Jennings and Valerie Jennings, Made for More Realty, on the radio and heard nothing but positive reviews. My family gave them an opportunity to sell a rental property in Manteca, and the service and advice they provided was on point and did not disappoint. The process from start to finish was seamless and very effective thanks to their knowledge of their real estate market. Their commitment and communication skills and responsiveness to questions and concerns were effective and without delay. I would highly recommend them without hesitation. I will definitely use them for future real estate transactions. Again, that was from Jamie. Just a few of the 5-star Google reviews that you're going to find online with Johnny Jennings and Made for More Realty. Don't take my word for it. Go check it out for yourself. And if the time comes for you to sell your home or purchase a home, you know who our audience recommends. There's only one in our area. Maybe why they've been voted number 1 team in Roseville for 3 straight years in a row. So if you're curious, hey, how can I sell my home the fastest and for the most money? It's easy. Just Google Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Johnny Jennings with Made for More Realty. Hey, find out how you can get at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. No costly home repairs or staging or organizing or open houses. At least 3 cash offers on your home with Johnny Jennings and Made for More Realty.